Do you want to know what's going on with the Tesla terrorists, the unhuman activity of Luigi Mangione and his stands? I'm Joshua Lisec. This is Daily Persuasion. I am the New York Times bestselling author and co-author, ghostwriter of 97 nonfiction books, and a certified hypnotist. Through these unique experiences, I curate current events to help you better influence the VIPs of your life and your career. Of course, you would know Luigi Mangione is the alleged murderer of the United Healthcare CEO from the end of 2024. We have seen shortly thereafter Tesla terrorism, it's domestic terrorism. We're even seeing with these lewd acts being performed on and around Tesla vehicles. This is technically biological terrorism or bioterrorism that we're witnessing. And if you talk to the people who are attending these left-wing protests to stop the Musk coup and save our democracy, they do in fact believe that National Socialism has come to the United States. And it's unironic. And I want to help you be able to predict what people in your circle are going to think so you can orient yourself and not waste time trying to persuade or influence those who are unpersuadable. You might be familiar with a book that was called When Prophecy Fails. And this is when a person believes wholeheartedly in the predictive capacity of their worldview being correct. For example, there's no way America would ever, remember the nope, not again signs of the election? There's no way America would ever vote for literally a fascist. And then Donald Trump wins in a landslide, is democratically elected, winning the popular vote, winning the Electoral College, and winning all 7 swing states, and winning every single demographic more than any Republican ever has, including winning over previously thought once believed safe demographic categories like Hispanic men, like young men, and even young women. Winning over these allegedly safe liberal groups. When prophecy fails, well, it's come to pass. So they think, okay, well, obviously it was rigged. It was rigged. It was rigged. So what are they going to do? What are they going to say with these accusations? Well, they're going to say, Elon did it. Elon Musk did it. Somehow the richest man in the world, he bought the election. And they just start to go off like this. And so they believe that we must resist. They use that word a lot. Resistance. This gets to the predictive programming of the DEI Star Wars sequel trilogy, where you had all of the white characters were evil and all of the female and non-white characters were the good guys. Literally every single one, all of them. And of course, the bad guys were led by a ginger, of course. Yeah, thank you very much. The number one world minority of gingers, those of us with the red hair and red beard recessive genes. Thank you very much for making us out to be the literal Satan Nazi race. Yeah, we really appreciate that. No, we don't. They were called the Resistance 2015. Perfectly timed predictive programming. So you have, we have to resist the evil empire. And by the way, there are 2 types of voters who use that expression, the evil empire. I like to call them NPR Americans. These are people who read the official sources like NPR, like the New York Times, and believe that they're informed, unlike those low information voter Trump supporters. And then there are the Facebook Americans. Both are hyphened, by the way, NPR Americans and Facebook Americans. And Facebook Americans are those people who believe bizarre meme-based left-wing conspiracy theories like Trump just banned breastfeeding, Trump just made segregation legal again in the United States. These are the 2 big stories from last week. That if a woman miscarries, she's going to be tried for homicide, intentional, willful homicide in the 2nd degree, if not first. And these are what are being shared. They're taking screenshots of headlines from far left-wing publications like Slate or the Mary Sue, ironically, or Gizmodo, these other publications, Daily Beast, for example, and Vox, and running with them, turning the headline into something that it's not meant to be. And so we have to resist. We have to resist. They'll have expressions like punch a Nazi, and they'll run with these expressions, even though, of course, Elon Musk is the opposite of that. And by the way, when I pointed this out to a group of Facebook Americans, and I said, here's a picture of Elon Musk paying tribute to the victims of the Holocaust at Auschwitz. And here is the literal Prime Minister of Israel, Benjamin Netanyahu, praising this great friend of the Jewish people, Elon Musk. And I show that to them and they say, oh, that proves he's a Nazi. And I go, what? Yeah, the state of Israel is literally committing a genocide right now. Never again, they'll say, well, never again, Israel, should you be doing what was done to you. Now you're doing it to the Palestinians, those poor brown people and those Muslims. So actually, Joshua, you showing this picture proves he's a Nazi. And I don't know what sort of reality we're in where you see someone mourning the mass murder of Jewish people, and you say, look, it's a Nazi who's doing that. When Prophecy Fails, that book predicts that once a prophecy or prediction fails, Jim Jones starts passing around the Kool-Aid. Now, in this case, it's left-wing bloggers passing around the conspiracy theories based in memes. If you are surrounded by Facebook Americans or NPR Americans, I don't know that there's much can be done. I've talked about this quite a bit on this channel, but look at it through the hypnosis filter, because I don't want you to waste time trying to persuade someone for years who's unpersuadable. When I was working on my certification, it took me 2 years to get as a professional hypnotist, and I had to work with several hypnosis clients and actually produce scripts and content and recordings and successfully create positive transformations, improvements, and change in people's lives in order to be certified through the National Guild of Hypnotists, the world's oldest organization for professionals in hypnosis. And there are 3 types of people that it's recommended we never work with as hypnotists because they cannot be hypnotized to experience positive change. And by the way, being hypnotized, it's like being in a zoned out state where you're super chill and your mind is suggestible to positive change. The 3 types of people were addicts, those who are drunk or high. So if you're drunk or high, you can't work with us. If you are an addict to any of those substances or to anything else, not recommend we work with you. Or smart alecks. Smart alecks who have to be right about everything and prove you wrong about everything. And I realized NPR Americans and Facebook Americans are all 3. If you say anything positive about Trump, they have to disagree with you. If you express any opinion that even slightly deviates from their viewpoints, they have to attack you. So they have to be smart about everything. And they use sarcasm and metaphors. Oh, really? So you support Elon Musk? So what you're saying is you would literally have voted for Hitler. Okay. What? Just the other day, someone was saying how what Tom Homan is doing is like when the Nazis went around through the Netherlands and they took Anne Frank. Okay, so you're literally saying that you would have supported the Nazis in the Netherlands kidnapping and then murdering Anne Frank's whole family. Is that what you're saying? That's what you're saying, Republicans? They just go off. They just go crazy. They think in analogies and sarcasm. I've talked about this before. So they're smart alecks. They're drunk or high. Often they're high on that which they're addicted to. So I think we're going to talk about those simultaneously. Those who are on the left, they seem to have a social media addiction, specifically to the feeling they get from, we'll call it outrage porn and fear porn, and the anger that they feel, that sort of righteous indignation, that moral superiority, in which their chin goes up like this and they see them as better than you. And they have to run around with signs and chant, we shall overcome, like it's 1968. They're perma-stuck in the 60s, the liberals are. And often, many of them are on some sort of psychiatric medication. Perhaps they're on an SSRI, and they have what I like to call SSR eyes, like this, where their eyebrows jump off their heads and their eyes open wide. You see AOC make this face a lot. I believe that she's probably on SSRIs. We see these memes going around of various women yelling at men, these sort of liberal women, and they also have the eyebrows jumping off the head and the wide eyes while they're yelling, and as the Bible says, engaging in the weeping and gnashing of teeth. That's how you can tell a liberal woman from a conservative woman. I don't know if these people are persuadable because they, by this definition, are not hypnotizable. So they're not. That means they're not suggestible, which means they would make bad clients. And if they make bad clients, they probably make bad spouses. They probably make bad friends, probably bad business partners, and bad employees. And do you need that in your life?